We're out here in a really pretty little shaded area of the garden where I've got lots of lovely lilies of the valleys growing. And last year I decided to plant a Jostaberry here. Jostaberries are really interesting. They're a tribrid, a mix between a North American gooseberry, a European gooseberry, and a blackcurrant. So they've got lots of interesting traits. They have no thorns. Gooseberries have really, really sharp prickles. These ones haven't got any at all, which is a bonus for sure. And the berries are really flavoursome too, just a really nice mix. They also do really well in shade, so this is more of a shaded spot here. So I thought we'd try it here, and it's looking like it's doing really well. When I first planted it, I had to top the tops off just to sort of give it a chance to really work on growing its roots, getting strong root system and everything. And so I took those little tops and I potted them up trying to get them to root, and they did. So I have some other, well, actually one of the little cuttings disappeared. Don't know if a bird got to it or something, but I have one cutting that took, and I can show you where I planted it elsewhere in the garden. But yeah, it's growing really well. They can get quite large. They can get to be 2 meters tall by 2 meters wide, and you can see there's lots of new growth coming here. They die down completely during the winter. It was a very cold winter we had here, unusually cold for us, but it didn't mind that at all. They're deciduous, so it lost all its leaves, just with little sticks here, but now it's growing out lots of wonderful new foliage, looking really healthy. There are no flowers yet, and at the moment the gooseberries we have and the different currants we have, they're all full of flowers, and some are actually forming fruits already. But this one hasn't got any yet. I think they're a bit later than the others, so we'll see if they do actually, if it does decide to fruit this year. It might want to wait till next year, but hopefully we'll get some fruit. It's always nice to get a few, just to try them out. But it seems to be growing healthily, and that's the main thing. It's quite hungry, I think. It needs lots of potassium, so I'm going to give it a bit of potash, I think. Bit more of a feed, but I have been feeding it now while it's starting to grow, just with a regular feed that I give all the other fruit bushes and things. I'll show you which one I use on it. I gave it a feed with this right when it started growing. It always seems to do really well. I like this feed here. And then I'm also going to give it some of this over here just now. Just sprinkle it in the soil and sort of dig it in a bit for a bit of a boost. And finally, this is the little Jostaberry cutting that I took last year when I planted the Jostaberry, the mother plant that we just looked at. And it's doing really well. It did get hit by a ball at one point, not that long ago, but it seems to have recovered completely, so I can't even see where it broke off. A little bit of it snapped. But yeah, it's growing really nicely. And it doesn't look like it has any flower buds either. They're a little bit different from other currants because they fruit all along the main stem. I suppose that's just how gooseberries fruit too, so maybe they're more like them than blackcurrants, because blackcurrants, they flower sort of in clusters. But looking really nice. Hopefully we'll get some fruits. We'll see what happens. If you look down here, there actually are some little buds that could be fruit buds. So I'll keep an eye on this. They're known to fruit and flower a bit later than the others, gooseberries and currants. So we'll see, but it's lovely, and they are so easy to take cuttings of. So when I do prune them, because I will prune them in the autumn, then I'll take some more cuttings and just hopefully multiply my berry bushes.